Enemy down.
Playing Apex Legends makes you feel like you're a little poor boy, looking in the shop windows at all the expensive things he'll never be able to afford. Apex Legends is a first-person shooter battle royale game developed by Respawn Entertainment and published by EA. The main story of Apex is the war between the IMC and the militia, called the Frontier War, is now over. But now the Frontier worlds are left destroyed by this war, causing those that once called it home to relocate to the Outlands. And the Outlands are where the Apex games are located. Those that were once engaged in an endless power struggle are now putting their differences aside to compete in this blood sport for money, fame, and glory. There are cool little story spots in each character's bio for those that care about the story, but for the most part, it's targeting those that like battle royale games, not a good story. Apex Legends can be played on a mouse and keyboard or a controller, and is available on PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, Microsoft Windows, GeForce Now, Xbox Series X/S, and Xbox One. There is both cross-play and cross-progression across the prior mentioned platforms through an EA account. And finally, here are the menu settings. Graphics-wise, it's on par with AAA games. The environment is colorful and shiny, and you just want to look at it. Particle effects from abilities and grenades pop on the screen. All the character animations are on point, and the models I think just look cool in general. And the requirements aren't too demanding, with only a GTX 970 recommended. The first thing you have to do in order to play Apex Legends is pick what game mode you want to play. There's Ranked Battle Royale, where all the Eric Cartman in the World of Warcraft episode looking people go to sweat all over each other and compete for a shinier icon than everyone else. Then there's the Unranked mode, which can sometimes be a normal Battle Royale or one of Respawn's special game modes that they come out with. And finally, a rotating game mode called Mixtape, which is one of either Team Deathmatch, Gun Run, which is basically gun game, or Control, which is basically domination. Once you get your brain in gear and figure out what game mode you want to play, you get to pick your legend. Look at this cast of chuckleheads. There's 25 legends altogether, each of which are part of one of 5 archetypes. For example, legends of the Assault archetype can gain access to a super secret compartment in the special weapon supplies bin that has attachments in it. Each unique character has their own passive, a tactical ability, and an ultimate ability, like Mirage, whose passive is that when he is reviving someone, it causes the person he is reviving and himself to become invisible. His tactical ability sends a clone of himself running in a direction, but there's a twist: you can take control of it and have it copy your movements. Really good for baiting out shots, especially since when your clone gets shot, it marks where the enemy is who shot it. Lastly, his ultimate turns him invisible and sends out a bunch of copies of him that do exactly what you do, which is really good for escaping spooky situations. Finally, depending on how thick your character is, you can take less damage, with thicker characters taking the least amount of damage because their hitboxes are big, juicy, and easy to hit. Speaking of legend skills, with the new season comes a new mechanic. You can now upgrade your armor by getting Evo points, which you acquire by opening special supply bins, Evo harvesters, or doing damage. You start with white armor, and when you evolve to the blue tier and purple tier, you are able to pick one of 2 additional passives, which are different across each legend. For example, Lifeline at blue tier can either revive quicker or reduce her tactical ability cooldown by 10 seconds, and at purple tier, she can either self-revive once per game, or her next care package can contain better stuff, like high tier weapons or entire Evo levels. I don't think this is very balanced at all. How can Lifeline's purple tier, which again is a self-revive, be the same as Valkyrie's purple tier, which is flying 25% longer or having her shoot a few more missiles? Clearly Lifeline's is better, and I think they need to work on balancing these upgrades a lot. Next come the general mechanics. You can slide on the ground like friction doesn't exist. You can sprint to your death faster. You can mantle on walls, use your tactical ability, and your ultimate. Loot items off the ground. Equip and throw throwables like electric ninja stars. Heal yourself after getting shot. Spam pings when you see an enemy. And emote over knockdown enemies just to piss them off. Apex Legends, just like most battle royale games, if not all of them, require you to loot in the beginning of the game as you start with just about nothing every game. There are guns, ammo, attachments, backpacks, helmets, knockdown shields, healing items like syringes, medkits, shield cells, shield batteries, phoenix kits, survival items which are mobile respawns, a balloon or a heat shield to protect you from the ring, There are bins to open, buildings to explore, vault doors to open, etc. There are 5 different Battle Royale maps to choose from, and 6 maps that are used for the non-Battle Royale game modes. These maps are on a rotation, and rotated at various times depending on which game mode you're playing. The BR maps have different features that set them apart. There's Olympus, which is futuristic looking and has a boxing ring where you can square up with the other contestants. There's World's Edge, where you will fight amongst geysers, lava fissures, and skyscrapers. Or you can fight on a large island, inhabited with cars, wildlife, and jump cannons on Storm Point. There's more maps, but we don't have all day. Apex Legends is only PvP. You can only fight other players and never anything else. You can join other players through in-game invites, or join other players through a private match code, which is mostly used for tournaments because you need at least 30 players to start it. Also, you can communicate to the people on the other side of the screen through in-game voice and text chat. The biggest potential for griefing comes from mostly the abuse of the pinging system. You better believe that if your teammates go down, especially if they're random, there's going to be at least 20 pings letting you know someone's there, in case you missed the first 19 of them. Thankfully, Apex now allows you to mute pings, probably specifically because of this. There are certainly other ways to grief, but the pinging system is by far the most occurring one. Being a live service free-to-play game, there's of course more cosmetics than there are raindrops in a storm. Just look at all this while I talk, so it extends the amount of time I'm able to show you all these cosmetics. You got weapon skins, character skins, weapon charms, banners, quips, emotes, finishers, whatever shooter game with a battle pass cliche cosmetic item you could think of, they have it. You can either get these cosmetics through Apex packs, which you get by leveling up, legend tokens, which you also get from leveling up, crafting medals, which you get from Apex packs, or by buying them with in real life money. Then there's of course the battle pass and the event pass. During my many games of playing Apex, I don't think I came across any glitches, or at least none that come to mind. I will say however that there are at least 3 frustrating mechanics. Having Fuse being able to land right off the jump and being able to shoot off his knuckle clusters immediately is obnoxious. I can't even find a gun, and if I do it takes me a couple seconds to pick it up anyways after landing, where Fuse can land, shoot off his ability, and now I'm getting slapped around with a grenade. Conduit's heal is super annoying to deal with as well. Nothing is better than having someone down to no shields to just be essentially healed from afar. It's awesome when it happens to you, but sucks otherwise. The minigun that Rampart gets is irritating as hell. It just rips anything apart in front of it, especially if you get it in the early game, or you hide it on a barricade. Apex Legends is a fun, squad-based battle royale. The game looks good, there are plenty of legends to choose from, which cater to players' playstyles, and they add new ones every so often. I do wish the game would be a bit more balanced, specifically in the new perk system for armors this season, but it's not a deal breaker by any means. A few different or new guns would be nice if they were added as well, but for Apex being free, you could definitely look past those few things, and I would recommend anyone who likes shooters to at least try this game. On our patented 0 to 1 scale, we rate this game a 0.72 out of 1, mostly because games like this are designed to never be fully balanced, and instead are constantly rotating which things are overpowered nonsense. If you like this no bullshit review of Apex Legends, please drop $140 for the FlipBros Battle Pass, or you could just opt to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, good night, and stop leaving the damn lights on in rooms you're not using. The ghost thanks you, but he can already see in the dark.